In the Gospel reading, Jesus, we are reading from the Matthew chapter 10 and verses 7 onwards. Today we read. And in the Gospel passage, it is highlighted, you have received without paying, give without pay. In another translation, it says freely you received, freely you give, in a simple language. And we should remember this verse, Matthew chapter 10, verse 8. 10:8. If you remove that colon, it will become 108. So I am here, I was reminded because this verse reminded me of a story. Some say to ambulance 108. Emergency service, maybe before we don't have this number 108, but if you dial 108, automatically it connects to the ambulance. Last 20 years this number 108 is running in India. Started in Andhra Pradesh during the time of Dr. YSR Reddy, the former chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. He is a Christian and very well known for his Christian principles. And he is a medical doctor but turned to be a politician. Then he became chief minister. Then he died after one term. And people who, most of the people knows, but some people maybe you might not be knowing also. But he was a very tall figure in the Indian politics, especially for the Congress government and all other things. And before him, after him, some stories. Anyway, that's a political story. But why I am telling this during this mass? Because there is something connected with 108. We are talking about Matthew 10:8. Matthew 10:8 says, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, cast out demons. Then it goes, freely you receive, freely you give. This is all one verse, Matthew 10:8. Some people say YSR, Dr. YSR was inspired by this Bible verse, heal the sick, do this, and give it freely. So when he became chief minister, he introduced this free ambulance and free medical services. So heal the sick. So that is the mission of God. So compassionate mission of Jesus, or a vision statement which is put in one sentence, one verse, Matthew 10:8, 108. Maybe whether how many people, it may be true because it's very clear. The verse very clearly says, heal the sick, heal the lepers, do this or that, and give it freely. And during his time, many people were benefited, and still people realized that it is good, and many other states also adopted, even in Karnataka, even other states, most of the other states, they introduced this free ambulance 108. Why I am telling this? This is the heart of God. So whatever we have, it is given freely by God. Our abilities, our talents, our gifts, and our blessings, everything given by God. It is not that we are master of that, and it is given to us that we share to others. If you see in the first reading, the life of Joseph, though we see dramatically how God has taken him and put him in the power of position, almost like the Pharaoh himself, but he was put for a purpose, so that he can manage the resources well and can save the whole world during that time for almost 7 years of famine. And God has chosen him to do that. And in our life too, God has chosen us and put into a positions in a places. Sometimes we might still think we may not be able to see in the eyes of faith how the concluding statement, how Joseph is saying today. But it is for a purpose, because everything happens in our life for a purpose. And we are not so poor that we cannot give anything to others. We have something to give. And whatever we have, it is given by God. And in the Bible also it is said, it is a blessing to give than to receive. It is better to give than to receive. And Jesus is inviting us that we give it freely, not expecting anything in return. Because when we give it freely to others, surely we will receive blessings from God.